Hello, hi, my name is Chikaora Obiora. I am 25 years old. I am a Christian visual artist studying a fine art degree at the Art Academy, London, and I am graduating in a few weeks. My journey to becoming an art student was a long one-ish. My life has always been science and art, and I went down the more traditional route of science, and I was studying biochemistry at Queen Mary University. But very shortly into the course, the Lord really led me in another direction, and I took some time out to figure out what I wanted to do. And I actually then applied for a scholarship, and then I won a scholarship to study fine art. So that is how my journey to becoming an artist kind of kick-started. I'll say my darkest moments in this course have been kind of struggling with the idea of being an artist and what that looks like. I think back to when I was 18 and deciding what to study. The reason I didn't decide on art because I didn't feel like I was creative enough and I didn't have like the skills needed. So I think now that when I found myself here, I was still struggling with those same ideas of, I don't know how to do this. I've been thinking science this whole time. Now I'm thinking art. When you study a degree, you are creating for other people. So it's been hard trying to figure out how to create what I want to create, how to create what they want me to create. And also I create work for the Black community. So I'm in a white institution, so there's already that kind of clash of ideas. So that's been the most challenging thing for me. God has been faithful through this course in many ways. Every time I create a painting, I'm always shocked that I created it. God has really shown me that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Like with every painting, there's a point of difficulty, but I somehow overcome that. And the fact that I am graduating 3 years later, that's God's faithfulness. So I think the area that I saw God's favour in the most in this process was actually getting the scholarship in the first place. I found it on Instagram and I originally said I was going to apply, but I knew that I wasn't going to, out of just laziness and just maybe a fear. The people around me encouraged me to do it and I did it. The process itself, I really saw God's hand because normally you'd make a portfolio which is like a year and 6 months worth of work, and I made that in 3 months whilst working as well. I remember there were nights where I was like, I can't paint anymore, but I kept on painting. And I think financially as well, I think at that moment I was a broke student. I spent like £300 on a camera, which is a lot at that time for me. And I spent money on all the framing the work, just money into the whole process. And to actually, come out of it with something, with a scholarship, was really God's favour and his provision throughout the entire time. One of my favourite paintings is actually in the studio with us today. It is actually this one, which is 1/3 of a triptych that I created. So this painting speaks about my mother's death. The image is based on pictures that were taken in Nigeria when we went home for the funeral. So it's kind of looking at the idea of absence. It's a stove with a kettle on fire and this idea of absence. There's no one there, but then you've got these images of her in different stages in her life. It's weird because you have her there, but at the same time she's not there because she's not physically present. You just kind of have these memories of her. And yeah, this is one of 3 in a triptych, and they all kind of speak about the same thing, including images of her, us with her, and just her life in general. But yeah, this is one of my favourite pieces.